Kia ora team, and welcome to Big Boys Boxing, where we're all about exactly that. The big boys. With big knockouts. And the big fights. So let's get into this. What's going on, team? Hope everybody is doing well. Welcome back to Big Boys Boxing for the first time in a while. Yeah, we got a bit to talk about, haven't we? So, as per usual, let me get a few things sorted and we'll get the show on the roll. Let me drop a link for anybody who may like to join. There's the link. Pin that shizzle to the top. I will jump into the channel myself. There we go. Hopefully everything's working proper. I haven't done one of these for a long time. Looks like that audio is working. That's good. Right. Here we is. We good to go. Right, so the big news, of course. I'm sure you would have heard by now. Tyson Fury got cut in sparring. And the February 17th Undisputed fight has been postponed. It was rescheduled yesterday for May 18th. Okay, so that's all still happening, and the card is all still as it was. So that's great news. Will we get there this time? Who knows? Who knows? Let me get over to YouTube and just do a quick sound check. Make sure we are all tickety boat. YouTube and yep, she's working just fine. That's good. Alright. So there's a lot of speculation going around about Tyson Fury. You know, some are saying he may have cut himself because he was getting pieced up and sparring. He needed more time. I'm not buying anything of anything with Tyson Fury. Looking at the cut, it's the same eye that got cut when he fought Otto Wallen years ago. And for those of you who don't know, there was actually two cuts on the same eye, one above the eye, which was the bad one, and there was the same little one underneath the eyebrow, kind of half on the eyelid. It looks like that one's reopened. So there is footage out there of the cut happening in sparring, but seemed pretty rehearsed to me, put it that way. I'm not saying he cut himself on purpose or anything like that. I think maybe he did get a cut, but not in that video, right? I think he probably got a cut and he knew he wasn't going to be able to fight. And then they set up the camera. See how the Nokia phone in the footage was so still, and you know, it didn't show anything before the alleged cut happened, and then it was stop, I'm cut, I'll fucking kill him. And that was the end of the footage. We have seen a video of Tyson since announcing the postponement date, and you can see the cut in the video. So there's no there can't be any speculation that he put up an old photo or photoshopped in a cut or anything like that, right? So the cut is there. The crux of it is the dude he's not cleared to fight, and he has to wait until the 18th of May. So it is what it is. It's not really fair on Usyk, but That dude does everything right. Nothing's ever fair for him, is it? He won't be fighting Filip Hrgovic, the IBF mandatory. I was kind of hoping that if the fight was going to be delayed too long, that maybe he would fight Hrgovic and get that IBF mandatory out of the way, because that would take away the possibility of the Undisputed fight winner getting stripped because of a rematch. But it hasn't happened, so we've got the rematch scheduled. The Undisputed fight scheduled for May 18th. It is what it is. So there's also been some stipulations from Prince Turki Al-Sheikh. I'll just call him Turkey Milkshake, it's easier to say. No offense to His Excellency, but there are penalties now. If one of the fighters doesn't make it to the ring on May 18th, they cop a $10 million fine. So that says to me that Turkey Milkshake's pretty pissed off that it got to within 2 weeks of when this fight was supposed to happen, and then Tyson can't make it to the ring. But it's nothing new. If you've been watching Tyson Fury, he's pulled out of plenty of fights. I've been skeptical about how much he really wants this fight, if he wants it at all, but it seems he really does want that big payday. That's the incentive. Let's not beat around the bush. If it wasn't for the big payday, I couldn't see Tyson Fury even taking this fight, full stop. So looking at the shape of Tyson Fury is a big teller. It looks like he's actually taking this seriously. He knows that Alexander Usyk's probably going to be the toughest fight of his career to date, and yeah, he was looking in reasonable shape. So we can speculate that he's done it on purpose or he hasn't, but in all reality, it doesn't really matter what we think. It's been rescheduled. It is what it is. It's done, right? So call him the Duck King if you like. I've been calling him the Duck King for a while. So let's just cross our fingers, our eyes, our toes, Jesus, even our balls, to make sure this fight happens on May 18th. So moving on, if anybody would like to join, there is a link in the live chat there, pinned to the top. It's in the Discord channel, and if anybody pops in, for some reason one of the tones that comes up goes ba-ding when someone joins the channel isn't working. I've got some setting messed up somewhere, so if you do get into the voice channel, just let me know you're there, because I might not know you're there unless I see you on the picture there. Alright, so got a few other things to talk about. The WBC has ordered a final eliminator between two winners of the Day of Reckoning. I'm just gonna find the WBC rankings. Give me a sec. I think it's here. You know, some people are moaning and bitching about it's not the number one and the number two. So why is it a final eliminator? But I'll explain it to you in a second once I get these rankings in front of my face. What do we want? Official rankings. There we go. So the rankings stand, of course, we've got Tyson Fury at the champion. We've got Anthony Joshua as number 1. We've got Frank Sanchez as number 2. Joseph Parker as number 3. Ajit Kabayel is number 4. And those are all that matter for this right now. So obviously we know Anthony Joshua is busy. He's scheduled to have a fight. He will be fighting Francis Ngannou, who actually has a WBC ranking. I'm just trying to find where he is. I thought he was 9, but he's not. Filip Hrgovic is 9. There we go. Francis Ngannou is ranked number 10 after having no wins as a professional. It's absolute bullshit from Mauricio Solomon, really. All the guys below him, like Martin Bacoli, like Joe Joyce, like Bakadir Jalalov, like Aslanbek Makhmudov, like Fabio Wardley. All of these guys deserve to be above Francis Ngannou in the rankings, but Mauricio Solomon wants some of that money. Right. So they've gone and ordered this fight as a final eliminator between number 2 Frank Sanchez and number 4 Agit Kabayel. Kabayel had his win at the Day of Reckoning over Aslanbek Makhmudov, and Frank Sanchez had his win over Junior Fa. We've got Joseph Parker at number 3. He's fighting for a interim world title against Zhili Zhang, the WBO, so he's not eligible for a final eliminator. But it seems a little bit interesting that it's been ordered now, since we know Tyson Fury's busy as well, right? It would have made sense to me to have the Undisputed fight, have the Parker fight with Zhang, all of those out the way before you order a final eliminator. We saw the last WBC mandatory was Dillian White, and that was a while ago, so I guess one's due. But from where I'm sitting, Mauricio Solomon's seeing all these guys making big money over in Saudi, and he ain't getting none of it. And he knows these two guys were winners from the Day of Reckoning, and Prince Turkey Milkshake wants to see the winners fight the winners. You know, we saw Joseph Parker he was a winner against Deontay Wilder. He gets a shot at a WBO title against Zhili Zhang. So it makes sense to have Kabayel and Sanchez fight on one of these cards, and Mauricio Solomon's put this order in now, hoping that we're gonna get some of those big bags, we're gonna take that money, and we're gonna make more corruption out of this shit, right? It's the way I'm looking at it. But it's a great fight. We haven't got a scheduled date yet. I wouldn't be surprised if it ends up going a purse bid, because both guys don't have a big profile and many won't want to pay for it. However, we may be surprised by whoever promotes Agit Kabayel. Who does promote him? Let's see if we can find out. I do believe he had a contract with Matchroom for a little while, but he might be Samson Lukowitz, maybe. Let me have a look. AGITKABAYEL boxig. See if he's got a listed promoter on here. Sorry if anyone's in the chat, I'll get back to that very shortly. What we've got here: residence. He's born in Germany, lives in Germany. Followers. Register as manager. No, thank you. No, we don't have any promoter listed, so I'm not exactly sure. Might be a Wasserman fighter, maybe. Shit, I don't know. But anyways, that's a great fight. A lot of people are picking Frank Sanchez to win that, but I'm probably going to go the other way. I think Frank Sanchez is overrated. Yes, he had that good win over F.A. Jugba. F.A. Jugba is a solid contender, but he ain't no world beater, that's for sure. He doesn't deal well with counter punches, as we've seen with Frank Sanchez, and Iago Kalaze actually gave him some real trouble and dropped him early as well with some counter punching. But see, Agit Kabayel has always been a combination puncher. He throws a lot of punches. He's pretty decent on the outside. He's got very good feet. He's very good on the inside, as we saw against Makhmudov. He pieced that boy's body up bad. So we'll see what happens when it gets closer to the fight. But at this point, I think I'll be picking Ajit Kabial to win. I haven't decided whether points or stoppage yet. But see, the amount of punches he puts out compared to what Frank Sanchez does. And Frank Sanchez isn't very fast. He's got okay feet when he wants to, but his offense is crap. I've been saying it for ages. When he doesn't have someone coming at him all the time, he's not very good at all. He did take Junior Farr out in, I believe, 7 rounds or something. Oh, what do we got here? Warning, the status. Current bit rate, blah 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 blah, is lower than. Hey, shit. I hope the stream's still running. Got that damn loading circle. Try a refresh and see what happens. Yeah, damn it. Please don't mess up on me. Doo-doo-doo. Okay, says it's still running. Yeah, we're still running. We're alright. Oh, there's some stuff in the chat now that I've refreshed it. There was something going on. Okay, we got PCR or Phil Carl Roberts in the house. Good to have you in, man. Bit gutted that the fight is postponed. Yeah, I mean, we've been waiting 24 years. It might even be 25 years since we had the last heavyweight undisputed fight by the time it happens. I'd have to look that up when what's his name? Lennox Lewis fought Vitaly Klitschko, I believe. Yeah, it was his last fight, wasn't it? So it is what it is. It looked like an elbow. Yeah, from that footage though, the elbow was kind of on the other side. I did see a footage breakdown that Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio did, and he did make some points. The glove was nowhere near where the cut is at the time. You could see it's kind of underneath the armpit of Tyson Fury. But the elbow, the arm seemed to be up, so it was like an elbow. But yeah, like I was saying, it looked really rehearsed to me. I think he got a cut before that, and it wasn't on video, so they decided to stage it to get it on camera to prove to the fans that Tyson Fury ain't the Duck King. But it is what it is. Alright, hold on. We have...
Jono.
There's Mr. Hannibal in the chat. Good to see you, bro.
Hey, mate. Yeah, sorry for the interruption. Just letting you know I was watching on YouTube, and YouTube died suddenly. Seems to have come to a complete halt. So I just wanted to let you know in case it's no longer going through as planned.
Well,
and you end up doing a whole lot without it being put through to YouTube. Anyway, I'll disappear again and let you try and sort that, check on things. Just wanted to let you know, mate.
Sweet.
Cheers for the show.
Thank you. It looks like it's going at the moment, but shit. Hopefully it's going. Let me double check. I know it did do something weird.
I just wanted to let you know in case.
Yeah, no, it's working as far as I can see now. I gave it a refresh and that seemed to sort it out. So let me know in the chat, anybody, if YouTube is still playing up. It seems to be looking alright at the moment. So yeah, what was I talking about now? I forgot. We should be alright, hopefully. Okay, yeah, so yeah, Kabial. I think I'm gonna be picking Kabial all day and all night. So it is what it is. We'll see what happens when the fight is, how they look closer to it. Yeah. YouTube is fine for Phil. That's good. Thank you very much for that confirmation, bro. Alright, alright, so I guess we'll get into this. Actually, touch on a couple of other things. This weekend we saw Jamie TKV or Tikshiva. He had a fight against Konstantin Doboshenko, very tough journeyman. He's got more losses than wins, but mess around with that dude because he can win. But TKV looked alright. He looked like he had the stronger punches, the straighter punches, the more snappy punches. Doboshenko did his usual, throws a lot of jab, right hand, left hooks, but he tucks up well, takes a lot of punishment, and it went the distance. TKV got a point taken off in the second to last round, I believe it was, in the fifth, because there was only 6 rounds. Too many low blows, which was a bit dodgy considering Konstantin Doboshenko's belt line was down pretty low. So yeah, it's a bit of a worry, but it looked like Jamie TKV was kind of gassing out, still carrying too much weight. I don't believe he's going to go too far, that guy. He might be pretty decent at domestic level, but I don't think there's too much in it. Also on the Conor Ben card, we had Johnny Fisher and that guy Bisus. I expected that to go a few rounds, but I didn't see the fight. I just saw the result. Johnny Fisher stopped him in the first round, so I'll have to go back and see what the hell happened there, because Bisus is usually okay, especially for an up-and-comer. I don't think Johnny Fisher is anything super spectacular, but he's pretty decent at domestic level at this point. He's learning as he goes, so I'll get into that and have a look at it at some stage. What actually happened there? Why did Bisus go down in the first round? That was out of it. Yeah, so, we've got the what's it called? The I think it's the Longsdale title. No, it's not. Must be the English title or something. Solomon Dacus and David Adelaide have been ordered to fight. I think Adelaide should win that, but let me have a look here. Come on, fingers. Not David. There we go. David Adelaide, boxig. I don't know if we've got a scheduled date for that yet, but we're gonna find out. Nah, nothing on boxig yet. I can't even remember what the hell title it was, but it does remind me of another fight that I've missed that was also announced yesterday for the Commonwealth and European titles, I believe. Fabio Wardley and what's his name, Clark, shit, can't even remember his first name. Holy hell, brain fart. Yeah, so they've been ordered to fight. Fraser, that's it. Fraser Clark, big phrase. And they've been ordered to fight for the English title a little while back, and went to purse bid because they couldn't make a deal, and then Ben Shalom pulled out. So I don't know what the hell the excuse was supposed to be. Was it Fraser wasn't ready, even though he's got an amateur career longer than most people's left arm? But now the fight's finally been made. I don't know what the difference is. I think it's probably the fact that Ben Shalom wanted it on his own show. But I'll be picking Fabio Wardley all day in that fight. I've never rated Fraser Clark that highly as a pro. He hasn't fought many, maybe some names that you know as a pro, but for somebody who was an amateur for so long, for somebody who was he a Commonwealth gold medalist and an Olympic bronze medalist? He should just be ticking over fast, getting to where he wants to go fast. He doesn't need to build as much as most people without an amateur pedigree like Fabio Wardley. I think he had a couple of white collar fights before he jumped in the deep end as a pro, so I like how Fabio Wardley's coming along. I like how he's learning on the job, but a real good trade is when that dude gets hit, it's like he gets angry and then he starts really sitting on punches. So I'm looking forward to seeing that happen. I think they said the 31st of March. Yeah, they did. 31st of March. I think it's a pretty decent dust up. So I'm not sure if YouTube's playing up again here. I'm just going to refresh. Hopefully it doesn't cut out on y'all. Refreshing. Still working. Yeah, okay. Still seems to be working fine. That's alright. So yeah, that's a good fight I'm looking forward to. I like these competitive fights. I was thinking maybe that fight might end up in Saudi on one of those cards, but greedy little weasel Ben Shalom, he was not going to let that fight happen unless Fraser Clark got it on his own platform. I don't think Fabio Wardley is actually signed to Sky or anything. He's just free agent at the moment as far as I know. Also, by the way, we have been confirmed for, I think it's June, it must be June 5th, this card that Prince Turkey Milkshake was talking about with 5v5 for Queensbury and Matchroom is happening, and the main event is going to be Dimitri Bivol v Artur Beterbiev for the Undisputed light heavyweight title. So that's good news. I'm not sure what else is going to be on that card yet. There's nothing confirmed on boxig that I can find just yet. So we'll see what happens. So I guess we need to get into this Joshua v Ngannou card. So let me just bring up the card so I can see what the hell exactly we're looking at. What have I got here? Oh, it's David Adelaide. No, don't want that. Here we go. Oh, I got a song stuck in my head from the old Friday movie, the Mary Jane song. So forgive me if I just bust out and start singing it. It just happens now and then. Alright, what do we got here? Ray Vargas. Ray Vargas is taking on Nick Ball. Pretty sure Ray Vargas is going to get pieced up in that one. We've got Mark Chamberlain. Horrible fighter. Oh, it's not the guy I'm thinking of. No, I'm thinking of that guy who fought Lawrence Coley, the other Chamberlain. It's not Mark Chamberlain, is it? Someone else. And he'll be fighting Gavin Gwynn, or maybe it is him. Gavin Gwynn. I'm just trying to think of his name. Rings a bell. He beat somebody he wasn't supposed to or something at some point. Yeah, Zhili Zhang v Joe Parker. I think that's going to be the most entertaining fight on the card. However, I could be wrong. It could be over in the first couple of rounds. If it does, I think that'll be a Zhili Zhang win if it finishes early. But if Joe Parker can make it past 4 or 5 rounds, I think he's got a good chance of stopping Zhili late. You know, Zhili has showed some gas tank issues in the past, and I'm not talking about the Jerry Forrest fight. We know he was very ill for that fight. You know, just looking at some other fights, he tends to slow down after 5 rounds or so. He's extremely dangerous in those first 4. But as we saw with Joseph Parker in his last fight, he's now really gelled with his new coach, Andy Lee, and he can follow a game plan to a T against very serious punches. Yes, Zhili Zhang is a lot different to Deontay Wilder. For starters, he's a southpaw, and I can only think of one southpaw that Joseph Parker has fought in his entire pro career, but he didn't look very good against him. However, he's a much bigger southpaw than Jason Bergman is Zhili Zhang. Yeah, it could be interesting. Parker's a lot more mobile. Styles make fights. Yes, Zhili Zhang beat Joe Joyce convincingly twice, but I don't see the same sort of thing happening against Joe Parker, because Zhili Zhang isn't a volume puncher, not like Joe Joyce was in that particular fight. And also the fact that Joe Parker was a little bit ill prior to that fight, couldn't train properly. That's why he was a big King of Pies fatty in that Zhili Zhang fight. So all going well, I think that's going to be a really good fight for the WBO interim title. And of course, Anthony Joshua v Francis Ngannou, the main event. I think it's a better fight than many think. Now, initially, I thought, yeah, Joshua should be able to deal with Francis with not too much trouble. But then you couple in the facts that it's been brought to light that Francis Ngannou has been sparring against professional boxers for freaking years for his training. So he's not stupid when it comes to boxing IQ. He knows what he's doing. The fellow French Cameroonian Carlos Takam has been sparring with him for years. So, and you know, Anthony Joshua has looked better in his last few fights. He didn't look that great against Helenius. He was getting pieced up by a jab, but he got the knockout in the end with the big overhand right. He didn't look great against Jermaine Franklin, but Jermaine Franklin's durable, has pretty decent defense. He looked pretty good against Otto Wallen, for sure. Otto's can be tricky. He's a southpaw as well. But none of these guys, maybe Robert Helenius hits hard enough to compete with punch power for Francis Ngannou, but I still think Francis hits harder. So if Francis can land a punch early, one of his big heavy shots on Joshua, that could change the whole dynamic of the fight. It could bring flashbacks for Joshua about getting knocked out by Ruiz. It might be the hardest he's ever hit. It might be the hardest he's ever been hit if Francis can land something on him. So I'm not so sure it's going to be as easy as many people think. I expect Joshua may try come out guns blazing to start, throw some big heavy shots, but once he gets clipped, I think we'll see him fight like he did against Andrew Ruiz in the second fight. You know, try and box and move, keep Francis at the range he wants him at. He certainly doesn't want to be inside with Francis, because Francis is strong as an ox. If he gets hold of him, he can throw him around like a rag doll. So, very interesting. I'm not going to dog Joshua for taking that fight. It's a big money fight, and he's not a champion. He doesn't have obligations. He could have taken the Filip Hrgovic fight and got that mandatory position, but look, we now know that the Undisputed fight's been postponed and it's going to be longer anyway, so he's got plenty of time. Well, no, actually, I was gonna. Yeah, he's got plenty of time. He could have another 2 fights before possibly fighting whoever he needs to fight. You know, so I'm not gonna hold nothing against him on that respect. What else we got on the card here? We got Justice Hooney. He's gonna be on that card as well. He's fighting the almighty TBA at this point. Who else? Who's this? Who's this? I can't even say that. What the hell? Z-I-Y-A-D. Zayad? Maybe that's his name. Okay, yeah, these are the Saudi. That's the Saudi guy that they've got on there. A local fighter. They've got Roman Fury on there. That's one of Tyson's brothers, I believe. And he's also fighting TBA. That motherfucker's gonna be busy. Jack McCann, we've got him on the card as well, also fighting TBA. And that's it at this stage for that card. So yeah, that's what we got. Kind of waiting for something to happen with some American heavyweights. They've all just disappeared off the radar. Where's Jared Anderson? Where's Andy Ruiz? I mean, Frank Sanchez is there, but he's not really American either. We saw Luis Ortiz go all the way down to Colombia to take a fight because old Uncle Al can't get him any fight dates. So I mean, who else is there out of American heavyweights? Sonny Conto, F.A. Jugba. None of these guys are busy at the moment that I'm aware of, but I haven't been keeping things on. Well, I've actually, the guys over at my Discord server keep me up to date with a lot of stuff as well, so big ups to the Techophobes, one of the biggies on that one. Drops me a lot of information, so that's much appreciated. Phil Carl Roberts says Zhang Parker is interesting. Yeah, man, it is indeed. An interim world champion against a former world champion. Yeah, it's certainly going to be interesting. I'm not going to make a pick at this point, but I'll be rooting for Parker. But honestly, whoever wins, and I'm okay. With these fights that are made like this at the top of the division, I don't really care who wins. I just want to see a good fight. You know, Cabial Sanchez, great fight. That sort of fight should be happening. Parker v Zhang, that's a great fight. Should be happening as well. There is one winner from the Day of Reckoning that still hasn't got anything that I'm aware of, in Daniel Dubois, after his big win over Jarrell Big Fatty Miller. So who should he fight? Should he be looking at the winner of Fabio Wardley and Fraser Clark, or should he be setting his sights higher than that? Let me have a quick look at some rankings. Daniel Dubois, where is he? Hey, well, Daniel Dubois versus F.A. Jugba is a good fight. Why don't we get that on one of these cards? That's a good fight, but I'm maybe suspicious that they want to use Daniel Dubois in this 5-for-5 matchup on June 5th. Maybe, because he's a Queensbury fighter. Who would he go in against Matchroom? In reality, Matchroom don't have a lot of heavyweights at the moment. What, Dempsey McKean maybe? That could work. Yeah, that works. Daniel Dubois v Dempsey McKean. Throw that on the 5-for-5 card. Yeah. Well, nobody else is gonna join me in the conversation. I don't think there's too much else to cover. yeah, the Viterbi Bivol Undisputed fight's made. That's great. We saw Boxig v Aziz over the weekend. Boxig got the win on points over his mate, Dan Aziz. That would be good. Flint, that's my oldest boys. It would be good. Dubois versus Ajagba. Yeah, I think that's a good fight, man. We haven't got PBC holding that shit up because FA Ajagba's been with ESPN for some time now, so I think that makes sense. Yeah, I was looking at the rankings, wasn't I? Daniel Dubois, he's number 7 with the WBC, and FA Ajagba is number 5, so makes sense to me. Should make some okay dollars too. Both guys have got a little bit of a profile. Yeah, man. I'm keen for that sort of matchup. Boxig versus Z's was a decent fight. Yeah, it was. It was. Similar kind of levels, but you could tell from the start that Boxig's punches were a lot sharper and a lot straighter. Dan Aziz fights out of that crouch and tries to look a bit like Marvin Hagler a lot of the time. You know, he wears the same trunks and socks and whatnot, and as a tribute to his hero. But he just didn't seem to have enough power to bother Boxig whatsoever. But full credit to him, he hung in there, he did his best, and you know, for somebody who has no amateur pedigree compared to Boxig, he did pretty well. He didn't get knocked out. He made a good account of himself. So yeah, onwards and upwards for Joshua Boxig. But since he's moved over to Sky from DAZN or from Matchroom, he hasn't really been doing much, has he? You know, he was moaning and bitching about fighting on an app, and then DAZN got a channel on Sky as soon as he moved, so moaning and bitching, and then now he's not getting many fights, hasn't been getting any big fights, so was it really worth the move? I don't know. I was kind of hoping that Aziz would beat him, because I'm sick of the moaning and bitching from that dude. It's worse than a teenage freaking schoolgirl. But it was nice to see him talking after the fight like it wasn't a moaning, bitching schoolgirl for a change. I didn't see the Conor Ben fight, but Dobson didn't really want to engage by the sounds of it. Yeah, I didn't see any of that card. I was taken a bit by surprise. I was expecting to be able to watch the card in the UK and then flick over and usually get the American cards an hour or two after they finish, but they had it at prime time, UK time, but fighting in the US. So I guess that's what they're trying to do to cater to the UK audience, since Conor Ben's still under provisional suspension while the BBB OC are still investigating him or some shit. I'm really not interested in talking about any of that crap. And they sort it out. None of my freaking business. I'm not going to go to and fro about eggs or contaminated eggs or it was this, it was that, and they were cheating. I don't give a shit. Honestly, I don't. I give a shit about the boxing. If someone cheats and gets caught, they cheat and they get caught. If they don't cheat and then they try to stick them with something, well, that's for the fighter and the manager to deal with. Nothing to do with us fans, man. So it is what it is. I think that's about us. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's about us. And I've got shit to do. I've got to go and paint some skirtings this morning before a dude comes to clean some carpets. Right, so That's me for today. I hope y'all have enjoyed the show. Thanks for dropping in, PCR and Hannibal, for the heads up about the YouTube playing up. I don't know what the hell it was. Must have been my internet connection, maybe. Or maybe YouTube shut itself for a minute, I don't know. But anyways, we are done for today. Hope you enjoyed. Make sure you do hit that subscribe button so you don't miss future content. Hit the like or the dislike if you've liked or disliked. And I shall catch y'all next time. I'm Jono from Big Boys Boxing, and I am out. See you.